Burkina Faso has started to attract many people, especially those who are organizing business conferences, bazaars. For example, on 18th November, yesterday, there has been the National Digital Week has opened that will go on from the 18th till the 21. Also, a women conference is coming up, African Women Conference, which will start next week. So this is quite interesting. Now, in this opening of the National Digital Week, the president of Burkina Faso has made an opening speech, and that's exactly what I would like to share with you.
Good morning, comrades, and thank you all for being here this morning to launch Digital Week. Thank you to the guest of honor, Ghana, and to our sister countries, Mali and Niger, who are also here to support us in this artificial intelligence revolution that is currently dominating the world. I would be remiss if I began speaking without giving thanks to God and also paying heartfelt tribute to our brilliant forces fighting on the ground, who have been doing an extraordinary job in recent weeks. I say this because I feel proud in recent weeks, while the enemy believes that he is trying to force us to give in. Our men's morale is currently rebounding, and they have been doing an exceptional job in recent weeks. I would like to pay tribute to them, to congratulate them, and I would like us to take a minute of silence to pray for the repose of the souls of all those who have lost their lives in this fight.
Course, our most comprehensive.
Thank you. The 20th anniversary of Digital Week marks the end of decades, so to speak, and we are celebrating Digital Week. But I think that this 20th anniversary should also be an opportunity to pause, to take stock of the situation, to see where we are so that we can plan for the future. Burkina Faso has come a long way in terms of digital technology, and I can say that we are still a long way off. A lot has been done in the last 2 years, but we had a 12-point program that we want to launch so that by 2030, we can say that in 5 years, we have made a leap of 100 years. The minister has made a commitment with her entire team to implement this program, and rest assured that we are here to support you whenever you want to ensure that this revolution is a success. Burkina Faso needs this digital revolution that should allow us to position ourselves at a certain level of development in the global sphere. Today, no matter what we want, no sector will be able to advance without digital technology. It is practically impossible. We talked earlier about the administrative odor, the red tape, and all the other things that go with it. All populations, all segments of our populations are often victims of certain slownesses in the administration. But only the digitalization of digital technology can allow us to make significant progress, to offer fast and therefore lower cost services, and to make savings so that we can move forward in our administration. Whether it is the field of health, Education, security, defense, all sectors need digital technology to be able to move forward. So we are talking about countries that are currently seeking to combat a phenomenon that is plaguing the whole of Africa. I would not say Burkina Faso, which is plaguing the whole of Africa, corruption. We cannot fight corruption without integrating the digital component. If we really want to fight corruption, we will have to accept the digitalization of many procedures, and therefore accept the digitalization of everything we do in the administration. This is the only way to fight corruption, and our country needs it. Our country needs it drastically, especially since we are still putting a lot of energy into ensuring that many sectors are digitalized and will allow us to make significant progress in the fight against corruption. I therefore invite you to continue in this direction, to integrate and unite all the ministries on the different platforms that you are developing so that this fight against corruption sees great progress in the next 2 to 3 years. If we also want effective security instruments, we have no choice but to integrate artificial intelligence. I think that this is an opportunity to also inform many young people about the judicious use of artificial intelligence and to give them concrete examples in terms of security and defense. Let me give you an example. Analyzing certain data necessarily requires artificial intelligence to be very fast and very concrete. So today, demographics and all the data collected by sensors, if I may say so, from security, need rapid and in-depth analysis to be able to provide conclusions that allow the various forces to act in time and anticipate anything that could affect the security of our country. Today, in terms of defense, who wouldn't be happy if their position could perhaps have images and coordinates of a particular situation transmitted to a unit that already has the situation in real time and must intervene on the ground? This saves lives because it allows you to better prepare and anticipate the situation. But all this can only be done when we seriously develop our digital infrastructures. And we are on this path because Burkina Faso, as I said, has come a long way. We have spent all our time hosting our data abroad. This means that we are not in control of our own data that we produce. And we cannot talk about sovereignty if we do not host our own data that we produce here and spend time exposing it to others. So the question of sovereignty also imperatively includes the question of digital technology. Today, we are in the process of acquiring data centers so that we can gradually host all of our data that we produce here on site and also the various applications that young people are developing, to whom I take my hat off. I would like to congratulate all the teams that are participating in this fight with us because just yesterday Burkina Faso was importing basic applications into our administration. We cannot talk about independence and sovereignty. If we need a small application to facilitate a service, we have to go and pay for it from those who are fighting us. Our data and all of our actions and movements are therefore known and understood by everyone. Today, we are developing many applications in many ministries to be able to move very quickly. When I take the Ministry of Justice alone, before, you had to travel far from your village to find a city and obtain your nationality certificate, for example, or a criminal record. But today, through digitalization, our engineers have created applications that allow any citizen, from their position, to have access to these services. It saves them time and energy and they no longer need to spend on fuel to travel to a given area, with all the risks of the road, to obtain these documents. These are concrete examples that we can take and that allow us to say that we need to move forward in digital technology to be able to relieve our populations and effectively fight corruption. That said, we may wonder how the average Burkinabe is going to access these services since not everyone is necessarily at the same level in terms of using telephones or computers. However, I have instructed the ministry, which has already thought about a solution that should start being implemented in a few weeks. We want to build citizens' centers in all the provinces and later in all the departments. These are centers where young people can be accompanied by the entire digital package of Burkina Faso. When a citizen needs a service, they can go to their citizens' centers and access these services. So we have not forgotten anyone. Everyone will be served and we can therefore be together on the boat and no one will be left behind. This means that there are vast projects underway across the ministry and today we are recruiting 10 to 20 times more engineers in the digital field to be able to move very quickly and make up for the delay we have experienced since our independence. In addition to all this, training is essential. We are focusing on the various schools that train engineers so that we have the material. And this is where I appeal to young people. It is time for you to prove that what others say about us is black and that everything is false. We have intelligence, we have brains capable of designing well and designing useful things for our populations. And so, I invite all the young people who will be enrolled in these different schools who are setting out in search of knowledge and engineering to continue to do the necessary research and develop all the necessary computer tools that our country needs, from the peasant to the administration, in order to give a boost to our quest for development that we are currently pursuing. In a few weeks, God willing, we will launch work on another Polytechnic Academy in which this digital training component will be integrated. In a few years, full engineers will have to graduate from these universities and be able to serve.
What if I told you your daily walk could be your most creative work time? With Whisperflow, it can be. I learned that ChatGPT works best with detailed.
We talk about the benefits of artificial intelligence. I urge you to also start raising awareness among young people about the harmful effects of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a tool that should enable us to move forward, but not a tool that should disorient young people. It must be used wisely. And that is a very important aspect, and I think that through awareness raising, you can do a lot of things among young people to show them the harmful effects of artificial intelligence. We did not say to exploit it for other purposes. Many people are already doing it today to scam people, to impersonate other people, and so on, to spread disinformation and all that. These practices must stop, but we can also achieve this through awareness raising. And I am counting on young people to be able to make the most of artificial intelligence to work for the benefit of the nation. And whatever people say, this is an area where startups are sprouting up everywhere and they too must spread the message to make others understand that this is an area where humans can make their mark. That is very important. Young people need to understand that creating startups and small businesses in the digital sector to help and make life easier for citizens will also allow you to live with dignity in Burkina Faso. So, I urge everyone to get involved in the digital sector. I encourage you, as a ministry, to launch all the projects in our 12-point program, the 12 commitments that you have made for 2030, so that we can achieve our goals well before 2030. I hope that is possible. So, I invite everyone, all departments and ministries, to pool their energies to facilitate the task of those who are supposed to support you in this development of digital technology through artificial intelligence and thus promote the development of our dear country. Thank you very much to all. I wish you a very good digital week and inshallah we will see you next session with major innovations, God willing, always for the happiness of our people. Thank you all for coming and thank you to your brother countries who are here. I wish you a very pleasant stay in Burkina Faso and may God bless our dear homeland. Homeland or death to us. Thank you.
So yeah, that was the opening speech as they launched the 20th edition of the National Digital Week in Burkina Faso, and the theme for this year was artificial intelligence at the heart of digital transformation. So this is a theme that reflects Burkina Faso's determination to embrace advanced technologies and place digital innovation at the center of national development. So there was also a high level panel discussion and still going on. And this discussion are on AI and digital policies. There's a Ouagadougou International ICT and Office Automation Fair, which is called CITCO, and also Vibrant Startup and Innovation Village, showcasing local talent. Now, he is not a president, as you may have seen down the line ever since he came to power, who is doing that rhetoric speech or something. He is walking his talk. So when he says something, he delivers. If he encourages startups and innovation and this and that, he knows that, that means Burkina Faso has already embraced it. That means his government, his administration is already working towards the implementation of this program. Now, why do I say this? He, somewhere in his speech around the end, he mentioned that there is this 12 points of commitment by Burkina Faso in which the country has planned to achieve by 2030. That's just in 5 years. It's not like our own Organization of the African Unity, like, or AU. It's a 50 years plan or a 30 years plan, while most of the countries like to do. This is just 5 years, and the man has transformed the country since he came to power in 2022. And it has been a hell of years. He has faced so many times with this, and he's not afraid of this. He knows exactly what happened to his predecessor, or the first revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso, Thomas Sankara. In fact, he's working in a way that time is not by his side. Here are some of, I just want to read for you some of the 12 points. So the Burkina Faso has outlined 12 digital reforms to drive transformation by 2030. So these 12 flagship projects were unveiled by the government, and it's called as part of a digital roadmap to 2030. So it prioritizes include nationwide connectivity, data sovereignty, digital ID, and cashless payments. It also plans target cybersecurity, AI adoption, IT talent development, and digital literacy. He said already their young generation or IT engineers have already come up with applications that solves public administration or these public services, that people don't have to move from one place to the other within the country, so they can get access to those data using this application made and created by their own people. I really hope that Africa gets its own WhatsApp, its own YouTube, its own whatever it is, or platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter, that they come from Burkina Faso because they really work from a Pan-African perspective or from African perspective. So I really hope that Burkina Faso delivers that so that we don't get scolded or something or get filtered by this social media whenever we spoke something that they don't like. You know what I mean? Next week is Burkina Faso is hosting the African Women Conference, Women in Business and in various sectors, and this will be attended by also or led by Her Excellency, the former AU chairperson, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, and we will have people from the public relation and the deputy president to brief us on what to expect and all the details of the conference. So just stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. So that was it for now, and I will see you on the next one. It's a bye bye for me for now.